Were you listening? Were you around? Because I want you to become a good hunter for us. Jack wasn't even around to hear all that. Oh, there you are. Okay, good. Yeah, bring us those good opportunities. They're happening like that. So what you would do then, is you would put a line on TradingView or in Thinkorswim that before it happens, before it breaks out, and then set an alert. And then bling, it comes up, and you see it. It was on FinViz a couple days ago. Yeah. But it doesn't help you if you don't then set it up with your alerts. So I think you mentioned you wanted to have a lesson with me. We could do that today or whenever you like, but about some of that stuff, routine. So how to stay on top of opportunities is really what that means. Routine. How not to be running around with your head cut off during the day because you've prepared. Routine. That would be it. That would be it. And that's one of those things you got to do. Paul says on the bar candle on SPY, what is the interpretation of the cross? What is the name for that particular candle if you have a chance? And because it's closed similar to where it's opened? Okay, so it creates that plus sign. It means that there was as much selling when prices started to go up. There was as much resistance in selling as there was when prices went down, demand. So it's like equilibrium. So when you have that kind of a plus sign, it means we're at an agreement spot, really. And if it's small and it looks like a plus sign, but you can kind of with some artistic license, you can call that a doji in kind of any circumstance. It could be big, and have a little plus sign in the middle. The idea for a doji is, well, I mean, number one, that it ends where it began, similar, so it creates that kind of cross, like you said. Typically, though, it's with a small high and low. However, it can be there can be stretched out dojis with enough artistic license. So it's called a doji. DODOJI. And it can kind of mean it's either a sort of a stopping off point, kind of a non-day. Think of it that way. But it can also be a reversal spot. It can be so many things. That's why it's an interesting candle. It can be a continuation spot. It just needed 1 day of rest. But if there's a lot of volume on that day, that can kind of signify reversal points typically. But over on the Qs, We don't have that, you know. And then on the Dow, let's take a look at that. We have the opposite. So on the Dow, we have it going up, and on growth, we have it going down. And then on SPY, which is kind of a mix of both, it met in the middle. And so what's significant? Hard to say. You know, it's a little bit of a turning point. Which way Which way are things turning? Are we turning more industrial, or are we turning more growth? You know, because if we're turning more growth, then we're going to have a worse day today on the Qs. You know, if and industrials will do better today, and we could probably take a look at the market and see if that indicates, but we may not indicate right now. But SPY is like right in the middle. You know, SPY is comprised of industrials, of tech, of growth, and a mix of, you know, best companies in all different industries. It's a real good kind of like average look at the market, but an average look at the market will always have you behind. So let's say there's 100 stocks on the stock market, right? And you're looking at the average of those 100 stocks. Well, if the, you know, average has been going sideways and then suddenly starts to look a little bit more promising, and the next day a little bit more promising, and then it starts to go up, that's because 1, 2, or 3 particular stocks in the average already were just taking off, were zooming, and it was causing the average to start to react. And as other stocks start to follow the lead, then it starts to move. So, you know, when you look at SPY, when you look at DIA, when you look at QQQ, remember you're behind. Yeah, you're behind. So, you know, you always want to be looking on the market for what's moving in high volume, see what industries those are, you know, and check their fundamentals, see if they've got what it takes to be a leader. A leader is going to be something that's going to be being bought up or sold off. It could be leading the way down. Institutionally, we don't move the market. I mean, other than GMEs and alley trades like that, gutter trades, we don't move the market. You know, the institutional money does. It's phenomenal. You know how much money. You know, you probably have seen. You know, if you watch Tesla just trade every day, the blocks on there are, you know, more than your net worth. You know, you know, every second. So anyway, yeah. So what you want to really be concerned about? I mean, yes, that's good for market analysis. It's good to start to get a good gauge on things, but remember that what to trade and where things are happening, you got to find that out too. So are we headed down or up? What do I think about snowflakes? I thought you meant snowflake for a second there, but then he said snowflakes. Are we headed down or up? So yeah, let's take a look at the market now. We've got 12 minutes until the market, 11 minutes until the market opens, and oil is sitting at about 97 and unchanged at the close of yesterday. Energy the same, and really all the indexes are sitting at about their close, if not a smidge down from yesterday. So that's broadly lower by a small amount before the market opens across the board. Yes, and so the VIX is above just slightly the close of yesterday. Gold has been pretty much chopping around 1930s. It's right now it's at 1931, but it did spike to 1938. It's really consolidating right now. And just hanging out. It's resting, if you will. Resting is such a much better word to use. So that looks like we're going to have a non-eventful kind of day, just a good old regular trading day today, but it may be down. So that puts a squelcher on a lot of long trading, potentially. But I just bought some things that were at the bottom of a pullback of their resting range. because they're getting really close to their 50 moving averages. Like, for example, what was it? Moss. No, it wasn't Moss. A little bit. APA is getting close to this 21 moving average, so I picked up a little in pre-market. And PAGs getting close to the 21 moving average at the very low end of this flag here. So there's, some opportunities out there on a day like this. And, you can be getting little micro nibbles, setting yourself up for if you get some follow through in a very low risk manner, because right now we're in this pullback. Try to find those leaders who are consolidating, with strength, who are resting with strength. They're, sleeping giants, sleeping giant moves anyway. So here we have PAGs holding a 91% move to the upside on the last breakout. 91% in that last rally. 91% return, similar to like GitLab, which did 86% move. And then it's been flagging pretty nicely. It's been resting, reliably, comfortably, while the rest of the market, let's take a look at again to contrast that and compare it to the market. The market has not been resting in a similar fashion as far as growth is concerned, and PAGS is acting like a growth stock right now. See if I can. So see, you've got lower highs and lower lows. So relatively speaking, that other one was PAGS, PAGS, is showing that no one's letting go. Another positive sign, by the way, on PAGS, good lesson for you here, is how while it started resting, volume started decreasing. And that's an excellent sign for a volume breakout to the upside coming soon. Right, so 7 minutes left until the market opens. But I do expect today, to be a resting day, a bit of a pullback day. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything that's going to throw the market into a tailspin, but you never know. The market's been so interesting lately. I think the last, two months have been very, very interesting with all the rate hikes and just all the changes that are going on. Yeah, I have ERYP up in the bottom right there, Marcus, but it's not doing anything good. Can I draw the channel on PAGs? There's not really a channel. Remember to use the right words, but I guess what you're saying is, you mean on the top side of that move and the bottom side of that move, like that? Is that what you're trying to say? Okay. Yeah. But the channel is, the channel's useful, but the channel is less important as just the trend line of it. So the topside trend line there will tell you whether or not the thing is weakening or strengthening. And from the initial move, it looks to be that it stayed pretty solid the whole time. Oh, you were typing in the wrong thing. Okay. And then over here is the condensing resting flag going on there, which in my opinion is very nice and pretty strong, pretty smooth. To properly draw that flag, you want to go from the highest closes. Want to draw right about there. And then you can go ahead and take these multiple touches. 3 touches is a nice, strong trend line level that you can put in. So that's what we're looking at. And that's what I'd be waiting for. As a matter of fact, I don't think I have an alert on that. But I am buying today. PAGs, I have an order in that hasn't been filled. Let me go take a look at that. 4 minutes and 30 seconds before the market opens. Up with that. Because I'll just wait until the market opens then if they're going to be. Spread is tightening, but nobody wants to sell to my order. Nobody wants to sell on PAGs. You know, it's been sitting there on a very nice tight spread at the top of the spread on the bid side all morning, and nobody wants to sell to me. Nobody wants to sell. That's a really good sign. But now that the market's getting really close to opening, I'm going to cancel that order and let the stock drop a little bit. That is canceled, and anybody who wanted to get out, too bad, too late. Get out on my behalf. So probably PAGs is going to try to retest or swoop down to the 19 area, and if so, that's where I'm going to pick up some shares. Olin Automotive, yeah, not a great company, and the CEO is embroiled in a bunch of fraud lawsuits for other stocks that he's pumped and dumped. So be careful with that. MULN. Make sure you're only in it for a trade and not for an investment. All right, 2 minutes and 53 seconds before the open, and we're watching a couple of small caps and movers as well. Hewlett Packard HPQ is up for hit 41 almost from 34. So I'll put that over on the high-speed setup for a potential dip buy or breakout trade. The rest, MDVL, which I'm going to call medieval, and SST has been moving. Let's keep SST on the high-speed setup as well. From the looks of it, Hewlett Packard is trading a lot more with a lot more interest than SST. Oh, Dalmat, you don't need to direct message me. Just do it normal. What do you think about iMac and HHMC? All right, well, we've got 1 minute and 45 seconds until the open. Can you ask me that again in about 20 minutes? Oh, he did? Okay. That must be why it's up, huh? It's kind of at where it's worth. It's valued at about 38. Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard up because of Buffett's 10% portfolio increase of it. Thank you very much. Get to works. All right, 55 seconds until the market opens. For you guys over on TikTok, if you want to go ahead and click the link in my profile, you can come check out our trading group and a bunch of other resources I have for you there. Yep, we've got SST up on our other screen here. All right, 25 seconds until the open. Ten seconds. Let's see what this market wants to do. I predict it's going to be another slightly down day with some support. Buying. Here we go. Ding, ding. All right, Hewlett Packard with a bunch of demand at the open, but then pulled back quickly. SST not even moving, looks halted. Nothing to see there, folks. Nothing to see here. SBFM red before the the open and now red on the open. But if it can break 7.65, that'll be happen. MDVL starting to move up right before the open, and doing now. Went from like 110 to 120. So that's an almost 10% increase. It's at 117 right now. Penny stock day traders, if you're interested, MDVL seems like it might provide a dime or a nickel or a quarter of return, which can be good, relatively speaking. Getting 119 right now. Bought up. There's a lot of green on there. I'm tempted to take it myself. MNTS, HTGM, watching them all. ERYP. All right, MDVL did just break $1.20 and hit $1.21 now. A lot of buying going on MDVL. You never know which one of these is going to be the one. It looks like MDVL, in this case, possibly. I check back on PAGs, see what's up with that. I projected to be a low volume trading day, which can be a very good day to get in. So I'm gonna put a micro order in on that, very small. Get more later if I need to. AVCT, any thoughts? I think it's MDVL hit 130 briefly there. Make sure you're taking profits out like every nickel. Take 5 to 20% out. MDVL. Since we started looking at it at 101.15, it's now up 13%. MDVL. Okay, what was that? Thing just broke out. Apple starting to move up. Apple moving up pretty strong. HCKT said Jack earlier, and I didn't take a look at it. AVCT, no, that doesn't look good. Whoever asked me that, nope, AVCT does not look good. Terrible earnings and revs. HCKT, yeah, no, HCKT looks like it's already, gotten away from us. Breakout should have been on the 18th, the 21st, right here. And then you had that whole run there. 24 divided by 50. So it's up almost 12% from that point. MDVL coming back down. You want to bail? So growth is being bought up today. That's what it looks like. I don't know if that's going to last. I was kind of hoping and expecting for the opposite, for us to drop and then buy at the bottom. Instead, we're buying at the open, and kind of setting us up for a further drop, a liquidity trap. Hewlett Packard HPQ, it is going up, multiple candles. I would choose the 40.10 cents, 40.10 or 40.11 cent level in order to enter. If you want that trade, that would be either a day swing or a day trade, HPQ. 40.10. There it is. There's the break on HPQ, Hewlett Packard. Whatever news is going on over there. Got me. HPQ. I'm going to just take a quick glance at oil, gold, and some of the other market indicators here. Okay, oil staying the same, gold staying the same. So really, this market can do just about anything it wants today within a certain range. It's going to be just a kind of a regular day. Signals ought to not be under too much pressure to crack. They should work out. The Packard probably can day swing all day. And it is still at your entry. It's at 40.10 roughly. Take that with you. Ugh. SST is moving now. Yes, it is. SST broke, but let me check the volume. Yeah, that's pretty decent volume, but it has pulled all the way back from 2620 all the way back into the nest now. It came back home to 23, and so that just looks terrible. Yeah, I wouldn't touch SST. Not looking good. The quality is not going to be very good. All right, RJ. So Buffett bought Hewlett Packard 11 million shares the last couple of days. And so everyone's like, ooh, it's a Buffett stock. All right. And that's what we have today. We have a nice little hot day swing on it. Oh. Wow. That was a very fast fill. I didn't even I barely pushed the button. Oh, okay. I see what happened. It bought SST by mistake because that was in another window. Oh, you gotta love your brokerages and in this software, man. Oh, thanks. Selling SST for a 46-cent gain. Wait a SBFM, if it breaks 765, it could be an entry for about 70 cents of risk. So therefore, you're looking for it to go to $9. I'm not sure if it has it in it today. So I think that could be also a low probability trade. Well, actually, it could. It's been kind of off the hook, unhinged lately. So there it is, 765. It's just touching it now. If it can break 765, 770, then you can go ahead and get into SBFM for a day trade if you're day trading. Don't day trade unless you have an account that's at least $30,000. And anytime you drop below $30,000, no more day trading. That as a rule, a discipline rule. Costco, no, there's very little upside on Costco. All right, I'm going to add to my MOS position that I picked up here. Some strength going on MOS. This is for a swing. And PAGS hitting 18.96. It's going to go test the 21 moving average. That's why I took a micro nibble. Apple and Tesla, which have moved up on the open, are now at the top of the move and pulling back slightly. We'll see where it goes from here. Hewlett Packard ever so slightly profitable from that momentum entry. Day trade. And how is Zeros? Remember we were talking about that? Zeros is in an even better spot today. That's just something that I'm going to keep putting into. Adding on to HPQ. Yeah, South American Square. Used to watch it a lot and did a lot of due diligence. I think Square will buy it out. Interesting. That's a very good insight for sure, man. Make sure that you follow me and hang out in here a lot. And you should come join my trading group, man. We'd love to have you. I'm just gonna pick up one share a day of Zeros until the market crashes. If that's what's gonna happen. If we head into a recession by November, then I'll have amassed a huge position on Zeros by picking up one share a day. Anytime that it drops lower than I've got it, I'll grab some more, another share. It's right on the screen there, buddy. Jason, right there. CROZ, Zeros, U.S. Treasuries, zero coupon Treasuries. They're the ones that are most sensitive to change of all the bonds. Which can be really useful if you're looking for some kind of sensitive change. Strong change, like trading. All right, I've increased my HPQ further. There we go. That's about where I want it. Medieval MDVL now hitting $1.36. Who's still day trading Medieval MDVL? I like to call it Medieval. I don't even know if that's what it is. I don't give a fuck. MDVL Medieval is moving. It's called Med Avail. I'm gonna call it Medieval. Sorry. Original entry was at 115. Now we're sitting at 1. We hit almost 140, 137 for 19% gains on that trade at max. Checking back in on APA. All right, it's just hanging out there on the 10. MOS. PAGs. What are you doing, PAGs? All right, PAGs starting to find some support. PSA opened in the top 25% of yesterday's large candle breakout, and that's a very good sign. So I may be adding to that today if I see some more progress. I'd like to see it at least break over yesterday's close. Oh, O'Reilly. Let's check on them. Low projected volume today, very low projected volume, near a breakout point, but stop on that would have to be around 684. 3% stop, not too bad. I still would like to wait till tomorrow on that to see if it'll move more. All right, Hewlett Packard definitely moving in our direction. As it comes up under the dollar point, so $41, that's where you want to take out like 20% of your position. 5 to 20%. And we'll just keep following this using the day swinging pivot point path, the path of victory. Daniel says seed for potential day trade. Thank you for. Well, by the time I got to it, it looks like it's a no-go. It looks like it's it's dojied out. Are you talking about zeros, Quasi, bruh? You just said something, but maybe based on something I said like 5 minutes ago. What are you talking about, crazy, bruh? Crazy, bruh. I'm crazy, bruh. He wants me to take a look at Disney. Yes, on zeros. Oh, okay. Because those are bonds, treasury bonds, and if whenever we have yield rate inversion, which it always precedes a recession. So we just had that. It's been starting, and it can take up to 10 months before the recession begins. And if you are all in treasury bonds right when the recession strikes, and the market crashes and all, the economy crashes, then you will double your money. But that's something that's a very long play. It's something you slowly move into. And yeah, so that's why, because they'll go way up. Here, I mean, I could show you that chart, but hang on a second. We'll have to get to that later. I mean, come join my group, man, and hang out, and we'll talk more. We've got class tonight, by the way. You could ask that in class tonight, and we could take a look at that. Free class for members. liking what FMC is doing, but it just pulled back from that little break. Disney. Somebody asked about Disney. Get the quick answer on Disney. No, I'm not sure about Costco. I'm not sure about anything. That's what makes me a professional. Anyone who says they're sure is an amateur. All right, Disney. Increasing revs, increasing earnings per share by a lot. They seem to be on a fundamental tear right now, but their margins are really tight. That's a little bit of an issue. So it could swing either way just because of bad internal management. For example, if employees go on strike or something, they're fucked because they have such a small margin on their revenues that they can't take any impacts like that. So they need a real nice, clean, smooth runway, in order to fly. Disney margins are too tight. So anyway, they do look good though right now, and they're kind of in a triple bottoming spot. So it's a possible investment point for a trade before COVID strikes again this winter, if it does. So maybe a 6-month trade. Thanks, crazy bra. And they're currently valued at $194, Disney. Oh, and it's only 132. So there's a lot of upward signs on Disney. But yeah, there you go. I mean, Jack says there's a lot of political issues going on right now with Disney. They're fundamentally set up. They're not technically set up on the chart, but they're fundamentally set up to have upside. But again, like I said, their margins are a bit thin to be safe. MNTS is starting to move now. MNTS for the day trade. If you're looking for a day trade. And we're looking for, we're over VWAP, and the break of the 425 level would be pretty key and useful on MNTS. Market high is 453. Let me double check on that. Yes, 453. So that'll be another point of resistance and another key level, if you will. And so if you do take it from here or 425, you're looking to scale a little out at 453, depending on how it behaves there. It looks like the market's doing exactly what I said, which is just kind of hanging out. A regular day, neither here nor there, and nothing cataclysmic going on. We haven't. How long has it been since we had one of those, guys? I think this is probably the first day this year where we had like a pre-pandemic, just regular old trading day. Nothing flippant. Kind of scary. It's like, what's going to happen? It's been like 800 days since we've had a regular day like this. Gold is just hanging in there. Oil's just hanging in there. This is what we like. This is really what you want on the market, is this, because then you can get into those really powerful bulldozer swing trades. Apocrypha. What does that mean? Apocrypha. Is that a stock, or is that like a Latin term for something? Let me look it up. Apocrypha. Learn another word every day, I guess. Oh, maybe you're saying apocryphal. That's what you're saying. Yep, that's the word that I found here. But there is actually an apocrypha, hidden or secret writings. What? Okay, we're gonna have to go with the L on that one. That's not it. Apocryphal probably means apocalyptic or something. Okay. Doubtful authenticity, although widely circulated as being true. Apocryphal. Apocryphal. So I think what they're saying is that the fact that today's seems like a nice tame day is a trick. It's a trap. Knock on wood. I mean, Hewlett Packard up now 2% from no or 3% from our entry, so that's looking good. We'll keep following the path of victory. Here we are at 41, so you'd want to take a little bit out of your position. I'll scale out 10% myself on strength. That's another thing, by the way, with the day trading, high frequency trading, or laddering, path of victory, day swinging stuff that I teach, is that if by taking small profits, and RJ probably this will light bulb will go off in his head, by taking small profits at key levels, not only are you setting yourself up for making sure that you possibly got out at the peak. That's one of the reasons we do that. But the second reason is that's usually selling into strength. If you sell into weakness, you're always going to be selling into the backside of the move. So yeah, SBFM, says Rebecca. I didn't have her. SBFM is totally breaking out right now. 8.45 SBFM. If you day traders, that's for day traders. And I can't even get there fast enough. But anyway, what I was saying is that by selling right into those key psychological levels, key levels, it's almost always on strength. Almost always. I can't even think of a situation where it wouldn't be. And so that's a very good thing to do because you're getting your maximum compounding performance whenever you do that. You sell into weakness, you're getting your minimal compounding performance. So SBFM, yeah, moving around. Did it halt? Seems to be hanging out at 816 right now. Very volatile. That's for your high-speed traders only. What was it? What did you want me to look up? Somebody want to look up? PayPal. Yeah, I go over this almost every day with you guys. PayPal. This year's price target is 116. It's at 112. So unless you like to make $4 in 8 months per share, there's no growth prospect there. And then by the end of next year, the target is $145. That is a total of 29% from where it is right now in 18 months or whatever that is, 20 months. So it's not good, All right, they lost eBay. What can you do? They're not what they used to be. This is a correction period. It's phase 4, the decline, the wonder years, or the opposite, the golden years, the end. Yeah, Lulu looks great. Thank you for bringing that to my attention, Rebecca. Not necessarily for a day trade, but maybe, but for the reason that this is a beautiful flag that I'd like us to be on top of. Beautiful. Thank you. You can get a pre-entry there probably later today. Not yet. The previous breakout move went from 325 to 389. That was a move of 19.7%. Remember what we talked about on these growth breakout stocks? The move is usually 20%. That was 19.7%. So this is just behaving perfectly. This is ideal. Lulu, lemon. So if it can just get up a little bit higher, if it can break that trend line a little bit, maybe on higher volume, then we can alert a swing 100 on that. Apple, really strong breakout just now. Tesla, woo, the whole market now. Its market is really running in growth only. The Qs, so much more than SPY, way more than the industrials are trending down. But growth stocks are being bought up. However, gold is also being bought up. That's contradictory. Careful. It could be a trap. All right, we just got a signal on probably Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard continuing to do good on the news that Buffett bought a 10% stake, I believe is what it was. But why Hewlett Packard and not Dell? Let me take a look at Hewlett Packard here. What does he see in Hewlett Packard? Price target 4, so it's already overvalued. Expected only 6% growth. Half. It's got the increasing revs. Very nice consistent earnings, but pretty low after-tax margins. Right, well, I wouldn't stay in it too long. LGVN having a spike. MNTS now breaking up further. Apple and Tesla moving up on the day. Somebody asked me earlier, and I said, remind me 20 minutes after the open. I forgot who you were. I don't think it was Jason. It was somebody else. Can you tell me those stocks again? IMAC, and what else? IMAC is a piece of shit. Rides okay, this is like biotech. What was the other one? I think it was Dalmat. Dalmat. What was the other one? Do I think Apple will reach 180? Yeah, but like by when? Twitter's coming down. Nice. Finding support at that 48.50 level. That was our entrance, I believe. Twitter, we entered at 51 actually. Do I have a price target on Lulu? Okay. By the end of this year, price target on Lulu, 446. And it's at 378 right now. That's 18% upside. Power trend turned on Lulu. I noticed that. Yeah. Now that whole power trend technique is mostly to be used with industries, groups, and sectors and indices. But if it happens on a stock that's a strong stock with lots of liquidity, it's an A player, you can pretty much consider it on that stock as well. Financials are dropping very hard right now. They sure are. You're right. Financials and utilities. Out of utilities. And communication? Yeah. Oddly separating from tech, which they usually merged. But I think that's because Facebook is on, maybe Facebook's dropping. Facebook's a XLC. Or maybe it's because of Twitter. Is Twitter dropping? Twitter might be in communication. It should be, don't you think? I don't know if it is. Technology services, internet software services. It might be under XLK. We're still basically on cues on growth. We're still basically inside yesterday's candle. So, it's fair game. Anything can happen in here. MNTS is now hitting almost 440. SBFM is almost completely crapped out, but MNTS is moving. And somebody asked me about SPY. SPY's hanging in there. Today is still, just like I said, is a regular trading day. It started to turn into buying up of growth. It's back there. That had to be institutional purchasing. Tesla's holding pretty strong last 2 weeks. Apple a little bit weaker. Nvidia far too weak. That's not going to emerge as a leader. At PAGs, though, feeling pretty good about PAGs. However, if the day continues like it is now, not so good. I'm going to drop it for now, my little micro position in it, and I'll get more tomorrow or end of day, depending on where it's at. Expected high volume distribution day. Out. On that basis, I'm out. Wait, what's going on with everybody's talking about Costco, so it must be having an outstanding day. Yeah, that is a technical breakout. Oh, it had earnings. This is an earnings reaction day. Yeah, you definitely want to get Costco. Take a nibble on Costco, and we'll buy more tomorrow if it follows through more. Leave room to buy more, as it progresses. And tomorrow continues. And also buy small enough. In other words, start small enough that should it not work out, it doesn't even hurt. Yeah, HPQ pulling back, showing some heads and shoulders type of signs. However, it is still within the pivot point support levels here as FWAP and the moving averages. All right, everybody. That's going to be the break on the morning session. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow morning and class tonight for members. Anyone who wants to check out our trading group, make sure you click the links wherever they are in my profile in the description and come on in and check it out. There's also other resources for you as well. I'll see you guys in the group. Thank you very much for tuning in this morning. Thank you, RJ. you guys can continue in the live trader lounge together. RJ, you can go on Mike in there and share your screen, or any of you. Everybody can share your screens and